Hello, everybody. So excited to be back here with you for our next session. So grateful to have AymurAI project, our feminist AI in Latin America, with Vana Feldfeber. So excited. She is the executive directress of DataGénero, specializing in intersections of artificial intelligence, data, and gender. She's a professor at the University of Buenos Aires and has been an invited lecturer at various universities. I'm going, including UNTREF, UNSAM, and UNAM, and UTILAIR. With a background in feminist and decolonial methodologies, she works on developing an ethical and inclusive approach to AI and data governance. So excited. Everybody, please welcome Vana to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vana. I am the director of DataGénero. DataGénero is an NGO based in Argentina. We are feminist and we are working in the intersection of gender, data, and AI. We believe that technology must be shaped by equity, justice, and human rights, and help to be kind to our people, animals, and planet. Through our work, we aim to challenge systems of oppression by creating tools, research, and training that center feminist and decolonial perspectives. We work in 3 core programs. We have AI and society, we have gender and data, and capacity building. Each program has a lot of projects, and what we seek to do is to promote feminist and sovereign and decolonial technologies in our region in Spanish. We have strategic partnership with different actors globally. We are part of the Gender Environment Data Alliance. We are part of the Information and Democracy Network. We are part of the iCount Coalition of Gender Data, and we are being currently funded by the Patrick J. McGovern Foundation. We are a founding part of the Feminist AI Research Network in Latin America. This is the FAIR network. This is a network that was created in 2021, and it seeks to build a regional ecosystem for feminist AI. Its coordinators are Paola Ricaurte Quijano and Mariel Sasso. In this Feminist AI Research Network, we had funding from IDRC in Canada to promote the creation of different projects that were feminist by the foundation of the project. So we had a lot of different organizations in Latin America that were funded to create different prototypes and then pilots of these projects. I will show you some of the projects that were selected, and then I'm going to speak about the experience of DataGénero, my organization, with Feminist AI and this particular funding. So first of all, we wrote a book in 2022, Feminist AI, and this is a book that is in Spanish, but it's also translated to English. We thought that it was really important to write in our own language, in our own region, showing the work of a lot of different researchers and activists. There are 23 texts there that will bring a lot of different research and reflections and recommendations to think about AI from a feminist and critical perspective. Then there is this project called EDIA. EDIA is a project by the Fundación Vía Libre in Argentina, and it's aimed to involve more people in the evaluation of biases in AI. So they have this whole system, and you can detect biases in the language, like in ChatGPT, and see different biases or constructions that are kind of problematic in these models. And it's great to use it in schools. So they did this huge training for teachers so they could use this tool in their classrooms. They had like 500 teachers that were involved because they wanted to teach the children and teenagers about the harms and risks of AI and the lack of objectivity in AI. Then we had this work by Derechos Digitales. It's a feminist framework for AI development from principles to practice. It has some interviews and a lot of knowledge on AI for development. And then we have this project from Diversa Studio in Ecuador. They did a collaboration with the community in Mexico and indigenous community in Mexico. They use AI and satellite images to see the fight and to make visible the use of natural resources in their land and how they were being extracted. So they use AI to see it and to use it as a tool for fighting for their rights. It's a great tool and it's a great project. And then we have a chatbot created in Chile by Datos Protegidos and ODEGI. And this chatbot is used to report situations of violence and digital harassment. So they work with tech-facilitated gender-based violence, and they have this chatbot for the first assistance, and then they will direct everyone to people. And this is the website. And then we have a beautiful work by Coding Rights in Brazil. They have this work that is questioning what valuable feminist concepts are left behind when we use the term AI. Can we shift the technological imaginaries of patriarchal colonial science fiction that fuel Silicon Valley towards the development of alternative regenerative systems? So this is a question they are asking, and this is the great piece of art that they created is Compost Engineers and Sus Saberes Lentos, a manifest for regenerative technologies. I invite everyone to take a look at it. This is the link, and you can search for it online, of course. It's in English and in Portuguese, not in Spanish yet. And then we have our tool. Our tool is also about gender-based violence, but it's about gender-based violence data, because gender-based violence data in Latin America is not great. We don't have a lot of information here about what happens before a woman or LGBTQ plus people gets murdered. So we have some great information about feminicides, but we don't have quality information of what happens before that. So one piece of this puzzle is the feminicides. Another piece is the part of the data that is being collected by the criminal court system. There is a lot of data that it isn't collected about gender-based violence because women are not going to the police because they think that they are not going to do anything. They don't go to the judicial system because they don't trust it. They say it's going to make them more exposed to the violence. So there is a lot of data that we have missing about gender-based violence, but there is some that we can grab, that we can put our hands on, and that is the criminal courts and institutions that are collecting information on gender-based violence. So we did design this tool to help us gather data on gender-based violence, the data that is in the criminal court system. So our main guideline was to think, what if we could use AI to help communities and institutions better understand gender-based violence? There are some discourses or people nowadays that are saying that gender-based violence is not real, that we are exaggerating, that women are being crazy, and that everyone suffers violence. But gender-based violence exists, and it's being ruled by judges, and they are saying this is true. Women are being victims of this kind of violence. So we want to measure it, and we want to have real data so we can create better public policies, do research, and also help activist feminists to accompany the victims better and the woman to be more alert too. So our project is called AymurAI. AymurAI is inspired by the word of harvest in Quechua language. So what we want is to harvest better information using responsible AI. And our tool is being used in criminal courts and in different prosecutors' offices to collect and open data on gender-based violence in Spanish. The main thing that makes us different from other projects is that we do it locally. We are not using any cloud server, and that was our main restriction and our main challenge creating this tool, because we had to use a lot of tools and very small algorithms to implement it. So our tool uses NLP techniques. We are not using LLMs because now when we are talking about AI, everyone thinks about LLMs and generative AI. We are not using right now generative AI. We are only using small algorithms that semi-automate two pipelines: the anonymization of judicial rulings for publication and the creation of data sets that are also anonymous about gender-based violence. So we have these two paths and nothing else. Our tool is not going to build also a recipe or make you a fitness plan. It's only going to anonymization and creation of data sets. Our tool can't do risk prediction. It can infer if someone is being violent, like if it's going to be a gender-based case. It's not going to replace judges in their rulings or decisions, and it's not going to generate text for these judges. So that is something that we don't want the AI to do. We want people to do that. But we know that there are some tasks that can be really repetitive, automatic, and boring, and also it should be assisted, like anonymization and database creation. So our tool transforms complex legal information into structured, understandable data and also documents that are anonymized. So you can have all the row of data, but also you can click on the document and you can read the whole text. You can read the arguments and you can read what the witnesses said, but you can't know who the witnesses were, where they live, or wherever. So it's only like the general information of that particular legal text. So there is a debate on what should be anonymous and what shouldn't, but we think that everything should be anonymous. We think that everything that we put on the internet will stay there forever. And if we upload a lot of criminal court documents to the internet without anonymization, we can ruin a lot of people's lives. The people involved, their families, they wouldn't, if there is a small town, it's easy for us to know who they were. So we think that it's the most responsible thing to do when we are talking about data and documents in the criminal courts. It's to anonymize everything and to do it locally. We think that these documents, we know that these documents are one of the most sensitive documents in the world, and we can't leave it up to the companies to anonymize them. Even though there are a lot of security clauses and a lot of protection, we don't know tomorrow if some of these companies that we are uploading all these documents to, if they will change their terms and conditions regarding the privacy of these tools. So for us, it's important to process these sensitive documents locally, to anonymize them locally. And then if this is anonymized, you can put it in ChatGPT or wherever, and you can use it to do a lot of different stuff, but without the sensitive information there. So this project is part of a huge effort. We have nonprofits, we have startups, we have academia, we have government, and we also have international funding. That's something that it's not in this graph, but it's like around everything, because that's part of how this project was born and it's being sustained. So we have a lot of actors that are working together to build this project. We have a startup that is working with us in terms of AI. We have people in academia that are doing research on this tool. We have the government using and giving feedback to our developers on this. And we have our nonprofit that is articulating and coordinating all these efforts. This is some of the offices that are currently using our tool. We have more. Each week, we are adding more people, more offices into our program, and we are training them on how to anonymize. Some of these particular places were initializing. They put the initial of the name and the surname of the person involved, and we are trying to ban that practice, but it's really hard because they don't understand why they shouldn't do the things that they are doing, like always. So our tool, what it proposes is you put some tag on top of the sensitive information. For example, if we have my name, Ivana, it would put person, or it will put lawyer, or witness, or defendant. So it will put a tag on top of my name, so you don't know, even my initial can be part of the re-identification of my person. So we don't want that. We partnered from the beginning with the criminal court in Buenos Aires. This criminal court had a lot of open data practices since 2016. So they were opening data, anonymizing documents by hand. They were doing everything by hand. And now with AymurAI, they do it semi-automatically. So this court had digital transparency, public engagement, clear communication. They are one of the first criminal courts in Latin America that adopted the clear language movement. They are writing everything so we can understand it. They are not trying to be difficult about the language they are using, so everyone can understand it. And if you read all the different rulings that are online and anonymized, you can see that it's really straightforward. They are not using complicated legal language, so we can't understand it. Because I am not a lawyer, I am learning a lot about the judicial system, but it's not my main area. So this is our tool. We have two ways of connecting. One is locally. I have AymurAI installed in my computer with the AI in my computer, so I connect locally. But most of the users of this tool are criminal court officials. So we work with the IT team, so the IT team can install the AI in the servers, in their own servers, and the officials will only have the app on their computers, and they will connect through the servers to the AI, the processing part. So this is, as I told you before, a really low impact or low processing power tool. We have 6 gigabytes of RAM, 60 gigabytes of memory in the computer, and 2 CPUs for the servers. For your own computer is a little bit different. It's like 8 gigabytes of RAM or 16 better, and some more memory, but it's not that relevant. So we had a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities too. We had designers that were working with Mac and with Apple, machine learning engineers that were working with Linux, and users with Windows. So we had a lot of our engineers had to get some Windows computer or do some virtualization so they could try the app and debug the app. Then we have also the problem of the servers. We are working with local servers, and that also can be challenging because in Latin America we have a lot of different types of servers and people maintaining their servers, and sometimes they know a lot of things about it and sometimes they don't. But we also found out that that was the most secure way of protecting citizens' data is to install everything in the servers. We had some design decisions. We didn't want our app to be the Feminist app, the app that was like green or purple, or we wanted an app that could mix with the other different apps that the criminal court officials are using. We are also training them on how to use it, and especially on why it is important to build gender data on criminal courts. And then we have this huge challenge of new versions and updates and the distribution of the app, because when we have a new release of the app, everything is artisanal. We have a spreadsheet with a lot of contacts, and we could contact them and say, hey, there is a new version, do you want to try it? And they say yes, no. So we have like 20 offices, and we have to do that with each one because our app does not connect to the internet. So it won't appear like a sign saying, hey, there is an update, do you want to? Because the IT people are the ones that need to install the update and then distribute the app in all the computers. So it's artisanal, to say the least. So one of the main questions we wanted to ask is, what does it mean to build feminist AI from Latin America? Why do we want to do it free and open source? And also, let's talk about feminist funding. This is a global summit on fundraising and funding. And for us, it's important to think of efforts, what happens when organizations give money to feminists to build something different. Well, this is an example of that. We are giving this tool for free to everyone. We are doing it open source. Everything is there for everyone to audit, to see, to use. And for us, that is groundbreaking. It's different from what is being happening right now with AI. AI is supposed to be really, really expensive and really like elite. And we are giving it to everyone. And it's really great quality, low maintenance, auditable AI. So that is feminist for us. We think that it elevates all of our values as feminists too. Yeah. So we wrote a paper that was giving a Best Paper Award in CAI 2025. This is our paper. This is the QR code, so you can access it. We wrote it with the criminal court officials, with the developers, with the academia, and with NGO. So all the different actors are here, and also a data labeler that worked with us also was a part of this paper. This is our website, and this is all the information about our code in GitHub and our models in Hugging Face. Everything is there. If you have any questions, or if you see some issues, or you want to report something, you can contact us. And last but not least, we couldn't have done this without the funding that we received from many years, from IDRC Canada, from Patrick J. McGovern, from the Frederick Herbert Steve Fund. And then we have some great partnerships with data.org, with the criminal courts, with One Young World, with the Feminist AI Research Network. So we are really grateful for that. It's not only about money, but also to inviting us to venues to speak, opening the doors, mentioning us in the rooms where it matters. So we are really, really grateful for these year-long partnerships and collaborations. So this was pretty much it. You can contact us via our website. We have a link there, so you can leave comments, or if you want to know more about the project. You can also search for us in DataGénero. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope it can be understood. And I am available for questions later, and you can search for me on LinkedIn. I'm really active there, and you can DM me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What an amazing session. I always love the women power here. No hate to the men, but we do it better. I hate to say it. Make sure you guys hop in, give us your feedback on this session. We want to know how you're enjoying the sessions. Make sure you give your experience. Plus, we can always pass on all that love. Coming up next, you can see here, I'm so excited. Right here on the innovation stage, we're hanging out with Charles in the RKD group. And we're gonna build some dashboards using AI. So I'm super pumped for that. You can see there's other sessions happening on the Amplify and Impact stages. So make sure you check out which ones qualify for your CFRE credit. You saw that pop up on the screen there. Also, Spark Stage is in fact open, powered by our friends at Play. These quick, high-impact sessions are designed to ignite your ideas and give you practical ways to put AI into action right away, which we always love. Coming up, we have some of these sessions, Well, That Backfired and Myth Smashers, which I think is really funny. Like, were they avoiding Mythbusters? I don't know. I just think that's really funny. So make sure you check the agenda, bookmark your favorite Spark sessions, make sure you pop on over to get inspired. Again, reminder, all you have to do is click on the schedule and you can click your bookmarks right there. There's all sorts of great ways to be able to follow along. And I am so excited that we had such a great session. And I hope to see you all here again in about 1 minute for Charles and the RKD group for the Let's Build a Dashboard session. Thank you all so much.